Welcome to RV101, Introduction and Then Some. This is the beginner course. If you're new to RVing, maybe just picked up your RV, this is where you want to start, so you're in the right place. All courses on RVcourse.net website are developed, maintained, and sponsored by RVing for Newbies and RV Mentor, both divisions of Testa Enterprise Consulting Incorporated. As you can see, the websites for those divisions are on the opening slide and will be on all of the courses. I want to make sure you're well informed during your travels as a new or experienced RV owner. So this course hopefully will do that for you. I'm Joe Testa, your instructor for this and the rest of the courses. I have 15 years of RVing experience. I'm also a certified RV inspector, certified thermographer, and author of the book RVing for Newbies, and I mentor those new to RVing. The outline topics we'll be going over are as follows. Lesson 1 will be the introduction. Lesson 2, bare necessities for RVing. Lesson 3, campground info. Lesson 4, basic electricity. Lesson 5, propane. Lesson 6, liquid systems. Lesson 7, safety devices. Let's jump right in. Lesson 1, introduction. Topics we'll talk about are it depends, rolling earthquakes, types of RVs, and campground etiquette. It depends. Quite often, you will find that something that works for you and your RV may not work for someone else's RV. There are a multitude of reasons that can be. Different makes and models of RVs. That means not everything will work exactly the same as yours. This could be anything from how your refrigerator works to how your water heater works on electric and or propane. Take for example, in my RV, on my control panel, there is a switch for my water heater for electric and a different switch to turn it on to heat the water for propane. I have an Atwood water heater, so I don't have an anode rod, just a plastic plug at the drain port for it. As a mentor, I spend time with people and their new RVs. Especially if this is your first time out, you may have a water heater that runs on electric and propane, but it might not have a switch inside with the rest of your other control panel switches to turn it on for electric. There might be a switch on the inside that turns it on for propane, but the electric switch for it could be in the outside panel of the water heater on the outside of your RV, most of the time in a lower left corner. If you don't have a switch to be able to turn on the electric aspect from inside, so you now can see the concept of, well, it depends in a real life situation. If someone were to say there is a switch in every RV to be able to turn on your water heater on electric mode, that is not true. It depends. And what depends? It depends on how your particular RV was built. Be aware of social media, especially Facebook, of the RV engineers and the various RV help groups. They want to help and they mean well, but sometimes they are absolutely clueless about your RV and will spew inaccurate info, including some of those that are professionals, in quotes. Just keep that in mind when asking for help from the general public. They don't know your RV necessarily unless they have the exact same year, make, and model. And then even then, depending on when it was manufactured, if it happened to be done on a Friday afternoon, you still may have yours that's slightly different than somebody else's. Rolling earthquakes. This is a term that's used for RVs as they roll down the highway. Things bounce around in your RV. You'll want to secure items in cabinets and especially in your refrigerator. You could look at some spring tension rods that will help with that issue. Plumbing can work its way loose and will need tightening to help prevent leaks. Electrical wiring can also work its way loose. This is especially important to check your electrical box, the one with the fuses and breakers, to check for loose wires. If you have an automatic transfer switch, that should be checked also. You bet this is an issue. Leaks and burned wiring are two of the most important things that can cause serious damage to your RV, so you want to make sure those guys stay nice and tight. In the courses, you'll hear me use the term RV to mean just about any type of recreational vehicle, whether it's a Class A, a B, or a C in the motorhome category, or under towables, you'll hear of fifth wheels, travel trailers, and pop-ups. I use RV for all of it. The purists absolutely hate me for it because they go, no, only motorhomes are considered RVs. The rest of them are considered towables. I use the term all the way across the board, so you'll hear that across the board in all of the classes. Campground etiquette. We'll talk about some of the rules and regulations that campgrounds have. You want to follow whatever the rules and regulations are for the campground or the park where you are staying. Follow those first and foremost. All of the rest of the things I'm going to talk about are things that showed up at various campgrounds I've been at. Take, for example, if quiet hours are 10 p to 7 a, follow them. Alcohol and drugs. No public intoxication. No drug use. Alcohol only allowed in your site, and no profanity. Attire. Wear appropriate dress at all times. Don't be walking around half naked. Black water. Never ever dump on the ground. Only ever dump in legally approved dump site. It is raw sewage and considered a biohazard. Campfires. They should be in the fire rings only. Do not move the fire rings. Fires are not to be left unattended. Campsites. This is a big one. For some people that are new, do not walk through other campsites that are not yours. Respect other people's campsites just like you would not want people walking through the living room in your house. Do not do that to others. Some other ones to keep in mind and think about. Check in maybe at 12:01 p.m. Check out is at 12. Make sure you're following that. If you're supposed to be out by 12, make sure you're out by 12. Otherwise, get with the campground host or the owners and let them know. Children must always have adult supervision. Cleanliness, we do our part, please do yours. Always leave the campsite better than how you found it, whether boondocking or at a campground. Firearms and fireworks, strictly prohibited. Gates to the campground will be locked from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Generators, assume you're on boondocking. Do not run your loud generator all day and night. Granted, you will want to charge your batteries, totally understandable. If you're going to boondock often, at least think about installing maybe a solar system, help charge your batteries, and use inverters to get that 120 volts AC you need for appliances, charging your phone, etc. Golden rule while staying at our campground. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Gray water. Never to be disposed of on the ground. If you have a problem with your system, contact the office. And the reason for gray water is usually got food particles, and that will attract animals to your campsite. Not a good idea. Lighting, decorative and other. Turn it off at 11 p.m. Littering, not allowed. Cigarette butts are litter. Pets, your leash length should be 6 foot at most. Do not leave unattended. Leaving a barking dog is stressful for the dog and is rude to your campsite neighbors. Pick up after them. Yes, this means when the dog poops also. And no aggressive pets. Pool, rules are posted at the pool. There may be no lifeguard between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Quiet time, 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Smoking, not allowed in the buildings or the pool area. Soliciting is not allowed. Trash, dispose of trash in dumpsters. Trees, do not cut, climb, or otherwise abuse the trees. No clotheslines to be hanged. Vandalism, you will be prosecuted. Vehicles, 1 per site. Visitors, must check in at the office. No visitors after 11 p.m. You must pay a separate fee for visitors staying at your site and using the pool. Washing. No RV or other vehicles are to be washed at the campground. Action. Wrapping up Lesson 1, we had quite a few rules that were discussed. Not all of those you'll find at every campground. A lot of them you might. But the whole concept here is basically follow the rules for the campsite you're staying at. And number 1, stay out of other people's campsites unless you're invited. Don't walk through there as a shortcut.